When you love horses but you don't enjoy riding anymore, let's have a quiet tack room chat. And this one might feel a little bit different because I want to talk about something that people don't always say out loud. You might love horses deeply, you might absolutely adore them, and you might spend hours thinking about them, looking after them, and talking about them. You're scrolling videos of them at ridiculous hours of the evening. But riding, it doesn't feel quite the same anymore. And that can feel really confusing, even a bit uncomfortable to admit it, because on paper, it doesn't make sense. How can I love horses but not really enjoy riding like I used to? And sometimes that thought brings a bit of guilt with it as well, like you're doing something wrong, or like you've somehow lost a part of yourself. But let me just say this straight away, you're not unusual. In fact, I think this is far more common than people realise. Now, there's a lot of reasons that this can happen. Sometimes it's confidence, sometimes it's experience, and sometimes it's age, and sometimes it's responsibility, and sometimes it's just life. Because life changes us, doesn't it? We bring everything with us into the saddle: energy, stress, tiredness, worries, bills, injuries, all of it. And horses, for better or for worse, tend to notice this. Now, I used to think enjoyment of riding was something constant. Like either you're a proper rider and you love every minute of it, or something is wrong. But actually, riding enjoyment comes and goes. It comes and goes in seasons, a bit like the weather. Sometimes it's sunshine and everything feels easy. Other times it's windy, sideways rain, and you're questioning your life choices while trying to get your boots on. Now, one of the biggest things I see with riders who stop enjoying riding is this. They start measuring every ride. Every ride becomes a test. Was that good enough? Did I improve? Did I mess something up? And suddenly, riding stops being just riding. It becomes a performance. Even if no one else is watching, especially if no one else is watching, because we become our own toughest judge. Horses don't seem to have read our internal performance review system. They're not in the school of, today I will assess whether my rider has achieved sufficient personal development. They're more like, is there food? Is the grass over there better? Why is that leaf moving? Very simple priorities. And yet we put all this pressure on ourselves. Sometimes enjoyment fades because riding starts to feel like an obligation, like something you have to do, rather than something you get to do. And that shift is subtle, but powerful, because obligation brings pressure, and pressure rarely brings joy. So if you're in that space right now where riding doesn't feel quite how it used to, I want to gently suggest something. Maybe the goal right now isn't improvement. Maybe it isn't performance. Maybe it isn't getting back to how it was. Maybe it's just reconnecting, rebuilding a bit of ease again. Not pushing, not forcing, just finding moments that feel okay. Even small ones. A quiet hack where nothing dramatic happens. A good grooming session where your horse relaxes. A ride where you finish and think, that was actually all right. Not amazing, Not life-changing, just all right. And sometimes that's enough to start with. And there's something quite important here. Losing enjoyment does not mean you don't love horses anymore. It just means something in the experience has shifted. And that's worth paying attention to. Not judging, not panicking, just noticing. Because horses are meant to bring connection, not constant pressure. And if pressure has crept in, it makes sense that enjoyment might dip. And here's something that I've noticed over time. The riders who find their enjoyment again are not usually the ones who force themselves to get back to normal. They're the ones who adjust. They make things simpler and they lower the pressure. They stop trying to recreate a past version of riding that no longer fits their life. And slowly, enjoyment starts to return. It won't come all at once, and it's not dramatical. Just quietly, in the little moments. And I want to leave you with this thought. You don't have to love every ride to be a horse person. You don't have to enjoy every session to belong in the saddle. Sometimes just turning up is enough. And sometimes just keeping the connection with your horse is enough. And sometimes the joy comes back when we stop trying to force it and we just allow things to be a bit softer for a while. So if you're in that space right now, you're not alone and you're not doing anything wrong. You're just in a different season of riding. And seasons always change. Now I'll leave you there. Go and spend a bit of quiet time with your horse. No pressure, no expectations, just a moment. And I'll see you in the next Tack Room Chat. Thanks for watching. Bye.